Ahoy, shipmates! It's a cruise ship. Yeah, I know. We all know it's a cruise ship. It is Fred Olson's Bolette. I think it's Bolette, I seem to remember. I think it might be something Italian or something like that. Departing from 106 berth. Heading out to Cartagena in Spain. And frankly, conditions that are probably much better here than in the port of Southampton. Temperature at our destination, I think, is somewhere in the region of 17, 16 centigrade and sunny. Whereas if we check the weather out here, at the moment, it is 1.3 degrees centigrade and falling. They will officially call that nippy. Oh, yes. Quite like the bright red chimneys here. There's a structure going between the chimneys. That almost looks like where you'd hoist someone if they had been a bad shipmate. You'd hoist them up on top of the ship and tar and feather them, perhaps. Very calm conditions here in the port of Southampton. You can see the container terminal at the far end, STC5, very clearly. That's one of the, I was going to say pink container ships. Wash my mouth out with soap. I mean, one of the magenta cruise container ships of the Ocean Network Express line. Fred Olson is just up at 106 berth, the Bolette. She is reversing down to the middle swing ground. Have a little pirouette right in front of our fantastic camera here. And heading off to Spain, or Mediterranean. Costa del Sol, or it might be Costa Bianca. I'm not entirely sure which one it is. Can't see anybody on board. Potentially a little close to buffet time. It's departing on time, though. Scheduled to depart 6 o'clock and departing pretty much bang on 6 o'clock. So that's excellent. That makes a change. We've had all sorts of shenanigans lately. But it's very clear tonight. It's been very cold here in the port of Southampton. I'm not sure what it's like in the rest of the world where you have been, shipmates. But here in the port of Southampton, we have had some very cold weather last night. And yesterday, on Sunday night, we had a lot of rain. That's caused a lot of leakage onto the road from various drains and sidings of woods and fields. And so last night it was very cold. And so this morning it all froze, causing all sorts of traffic carnage in the area. Doesn't affect the ship, so that's good. As we're following Bolette here, reversing at quite some speed. We're looking over Mayflower Park here. It's a great location if you want to do a bit of ship's. I can see a couple of shipmates on their balcony. Perhaps we'll get a couple of wavers. Ahoy there, shipmate. Paul Dobson says it's an ex-Holland American line ship. Recently new to Fred. So there we go. Shipmate Paul is fully geared up on all these sorts of things. He has his ear to the ground. I do quite like the colour schemes of the Fred Olsons. They've got that little red stripe going down the middle. I was going to say the Plymouth sword line. I'm a bit close in the middle of the ship for that. I'll zoom out a bit, I think. Only problem with the current view is Mr. Cootie's restaurant. Does rather I was going to say blight to the view, not quite right. It does make the view very obvious. There we go. As you can see, it's the pink and green building down to the left. I'm sure you can all see that. Ahoy there, shipmate Elizabeth G. There she's looking great. A lovely sized ship. And ahoy there, Les Dawson. Is she reversing right out or is she going to turn? I believe she's going to spin right in front of her, shipmate. So we'll get to see her twirl right before our very eyes. Oh, Paul Dobson correcting my pronunciation of Bolette. Bolette. Norwegian name after the grandmother of Fred Olson. That's right, I remember now. Of course it's Norwegian. I did learn the Norwegian for Ahoy shipmates, but I don't remember what it was now. It's something like Ahoy Sklibilof or something or other. Ahoy there, Typho Wadden says that Mr. Cootie had spent over 100,000 on the lights for the restaurant, or so he told us. 100,000? I think he might have been bending that a little bit, but I'm sure he spent a few pounds on it. It is quite impressive, so yes, I can imagine it wasn't just a couple of strings of lights from Poundland. Ahoy there, shipmate Jill. Yes, indeed, it does look quite impressive. It certainly is noticeable as you're driving through town, or driving through the port. You can have no chance of missing that. Very obvious indeed. It's probably good advertising for him. Ahoy there, Babe Blue. I'll probably just get to see. There we go. If we go up here, look at the map, and we'll see where. There we go. There's Bolette. That's supposed to be pronounced. So there's Cooties is just here. Here somewhere. Just here. And this is the middle swing round, and she'll point her bow right towards us. And then we'll be able to follow it on cruise cam if I can manage to operate that. And we'll get the best view here in port. It's trouble with these.
BTS Rejet 7, Northwest Netley, and permission to speak, please.
Rejet 7 VTS, yes, if it's safe to do so. Traffic information, the Bolette swinging off of one of one berth, an outbounder.
Full copy, thank you.
Oh, well, Sam from BTS is going for Bolette. Who knows? Yeah, it's quite dark when we have winter departures here from the port of Southampton. It's pretty dark after about sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening. It gets quite difficult on the other cameras, but there is a fair amount of light in port. Probably Mr. Cootie lighting up the whole area. Maybe get sponsorship from Southampton Eastleigh Airport. He can be the identifying beacon for the runway. But I just thought I would cover this one while Bolette's in this sort of brighter area of port, slightly easy to see, and also we get to see it spin round, which is quite fun. Boy there, shipmate Robert Burrows says, expecting, you say 2 centimetres of snow in Doncaster. Wow. I don't think we'll have any snow here in the port of Southampton. We're pretty temperate climate here. Ahoy there, Etienne, I see he's here. And ahoy there, Woolly Beat. Well done, shipmate. Ahoy there, Anne Savage. And ahoy there, Tina Stockman says went on her sister ship, the Borealis. I'm presuming I'm pronouncing that one incorrectly as well. Lovely cruise around the Scottish Isles, but compared to other cruise lines, quite expensive. Well, I hope it was an enjoyable cruise though. Sometimes you have to pay the difference, don't you? It looks like Bolette's going to spin right behind Mr. Cootie's dome.
Hi, team BTS, that's all. Copy of traffic information. The Bolette swinging off of one berth, then outbound over.
Oh, Sam's calling it Bolette now. Let's have a look. It looks a gentle gust coming from, that looks like the north, I would say. Yes, it is. Look at that northwest. That's where we have this chilly wind. Got a breeze of 7 knots, gusting to 7.3. Visibility 23 knots out at 1.3 degrees C. Humidity, obviously the humidity machine is broken. Yeah, unfortunately, it's spinning right behind Mr. Cootie's fantastic Indian restaurant. This is currently the replacement for ferry cam, as you may have all noticed.
Blader 2 VTS, all copied, thank you.
I know that when will ferry cam question has been constantly blasted in the chat. And ferry cam is back. Well, not quite back, but back in some form. Thought you'd all be interested to see. There will be some improvements to come, but at the moment we'll have to use this camera. But when we've got a cruise ship passing by, I'll do a little bit of tracking of the cruise ships. That looks like some smoke or steam coming out of Mr. Cootie's restaurant, possibly toasting those skewers, maybe. Hope he's not burning the onion mudgies. Yeah, it's quite still up there. There's a lovely reflection on the water. I'd like to thank everyone who's become a member recently. We've had a lot of members to the channel. You can occasionally, hopefully on this broadcast, you can hear the VTS radio. So if you become a member of the channel, you get access to that, access to our Discord server. It just helps support the channel so I can grow and put some more cameras in and so forth. It's been really good. The subscriber numbers are up. So if you haven't subscribed, please do think about subscribing to the channel. It certainly helps. It'll help the masters of Google and their AI algorithms to direct shipmates to a friendly channel on YouTube. Hi there, Bradley Beaumont. Asking questions about Bosscam Ferricam. Yes, all in good time, shipmates. I thought something was better than nothing. Well, Les Dodson says turns on a sixpence. Certainly does. Hope we might get a slightly better picture here once we're out of the way of Mr. Cootie's shiny dome. Oh, with their Typhoon One, says the Mr. Cootie's bright dome is interfering with the bridge team's night vision. It could well be right there. Well, it is fairly bright in the Port of Southampton anyway. You can see the light at the top of the screen here from the ferry terminal and down at STC 5. There's an awful lot of lights here in port. It's once you've gone past the dockhead and down Southampton Water, that's when it starts getting quite dark. That's when the cameras generally struggle as well. As it's quite still today, a bit of a zoom in, I think. I'll see if we can see any shipmates waving.
Commodore Goodwill, VTS, that's all copied, thank you, good evening.
Hello, Bolette is one of the smaller cruise ships that we see here in the Port of Southampton. Built in, launched in 2000, January 2000, so 23 years old. And as our previous shipmate, Paul Dawson said, originally from another fleet. So she started out with Carnival Corporation, Holds America Line, and now is, from 2020, has been part of the Olson line. See a few shipmates on board. Only 62,000 gross tons. So compare that to something like Iona and Avia, probably about a third of the size in that respect. 12 decks in total. Top speed of 25 knots or 46 kilometres an hour for you continental types. 29 miles per hour in the King's units. Total capacity 1,380 passengers, 647 crew.
CTS, Bolette, to head out now.
Bolette, VTS, that's all copied. Traffic information, Red Falcon, Castle Point, inbound. Over.
Roger that, thank you.
VTS, also the CMA CGM Constanza just boarding at Charlie now.
Roger that, thanks very much.
A large container ship boarding somewhere out just near the Isle of Wight. We had the Ada Prima due in port on Monday. She typically sails around at this time of year from Hamburg, over to Southampton, over to Cherbourg. I think she goes up to Bruges or somewhere along there. But weather conditions it was so windy Sunday night, and she had to cancel coming into port because the pilot couldn't board. Ended up steaming straight across to Cherbourg instead. Oh, I can see right into the cabins. That's a good job. Some of these people have their curtains closed. Might see someone putting on their elasticated trousers for a trip to the buffet. Haven't seen anyone waving yet. I thought perhaps we might see a few wavers. Got a good view from here. Alas, no. Oh, there, Ellie Merley. Oh, there, FaZe Cloud. And oh, there, Tizzy C. Hello there, Shelley Jackson says, nice to see a big pink container ship back. Yes, it is indeed. It's great to see them back, although I hasten to add they are not pink. They are. They're not pink, they're magenta.
A Tampa Triumph for VTS, is that you trying to call over? Tampa Triumph for VTS, that's all copied. Traffic information, the CMA CGM Constanza just boarded a Charlie inbound. Thank you.
It really is quite still out there. Some great reflections off the water. Let's see if I can get cameras being not particularly. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of lovely reflections of the water. It's very flat water. I think the wind is still pretty calm. Oh, it's gusting a little bit higher now. 8 knots, gusting to 10. Yeah, some lovely reflections there. Certainly, that's where I would like to be, sailing my way down to a port in the southeast coast of Spain, Cartagena. I'm guessing it's Costa del Sol, could be Costa Blanca. That certainly would be a pleasant place to be, rather than the currently going to be -5 tonight is the forecast here in the port of Southampton. It's definitely going to freeze the balls off a brass monkey. Oh, the list Dawson says, great views, Captain. Many thanks, shipping. I think Bolette, one of the smaller cruise ships, and this is how you can really tell, actually barely visible above the buildings of Town Quay. When you get the larger cruise ships, they loom massively over the buildings. A lot of shipmates say that they get a better cruising experience from the smaller ships, more intimate, more cozier. I think you get to meet more people, less children running around like headless chickens. See if I catch her shortly on the cruise cam. Let's have a look on Netley cam, see if she's what's going on here. See, it is not very windy, but there we can go. We could just see her on Netley cam now, just passing the ocean terminal. There she's there. This is where she swung round. Swung round here. And then go past the dock head here. And this is where Iona and Arvia.
How would be the Red Falcon Victorian?
That's where they dock.
Red Falcon VTS, that's all copied. Traffic information, the Bolette 40 berth outbound of it.
All copied, thank you, sir.
Oh, there's shipmate Brian Melville, who's just joined as a member. Welcome aboard, shipmate.
On VTS, the Red Ultra Osprey, Hot Cow.
Red Osprey VTS, all copied. There's no reported traffic.
Make your way down to the galley, shipmate, and grab some grog.
CMA CGM Constanza, good evening.
This looks a bit foggy from cruise cam. Sure that's not right. Maybe I need to tweak some settings on it. Cruise cam doesn't perform as well.
CMA CGM Constanza VTS, that's all copied. I confirm you have 2 tugs booked. Traffic information, the Tampa Triumph approaching the Warner Boy outbound main channel will pass north and east of the Nab Tower. The Bolette approaching 38 9 berth outbound. You have a PC pass for this vessel.
Yeah, I'd say the cruise cam doesn't perform quite as well as the other cameras we have. Summer is a better time. Oh, excuse me.
VTS Red Jet 7, shortly clearing departing Town Quay for Cal, sorry.
Red Jet 7 VTS, that's all copied. Traffic information, Red Falcon, Hamble Point inbound, and the Bolette approaching Dockhead outbound. Over.
Thank you there, both copy.
Oh, we'll see the Red Jet at the second, blasting past on the way to the Isle of Wight. There we go. There is the letter on her way to southern Spain. Boy there, Steve Hat says he's glad to see the cams coming back.
VTS, High Scene, Team Town Quay.
I see VTS, all copied, thank you.
High Scene is the ferry flies a trade between Hythe and here at Town Quay. There we go, you can see Bolette reaching the dockhead.
Hogue Detroit VTS, over.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this very short, impromptu, quick broadcast, shipmate.
Hogue Detroit. Hogue Detroit, Southampton VTS, over.
Sounds like he's being a naughty boy, not answering his radio.
Hogue Detroit VTS, are you a tanker, over?
Oh, you a tanker.
VTS, that's all copied. Please maintain a good listening watch on channel 9 and 12 all the time, over.
As she goes, like I say, you can tell much smaller ships disappearing behind some of the larger Ro-Ro ships that we have in Portsmouth. Do like the red funnels, the blue hull. Smashing looking ship, really.
Red Jet 6 VTS, that's all copied. Traffic information, Red Osprey, Castle Point outbound, and the Bolette, Dockhead outbound, clear channel.
Ahoy there, Gaming in Infinity says, hope I'm staying warm on this evening. I'm certainly trying to, shipmate. Luckily, my computer is blasting lots of hot air at me at the moment, and I'm blasting hot air at the computer, so we're all getting hot and bothered here, which is good. You can see the red Kestrel there at the bottom of our screen. It's a freight-only ferry service to the Isle of Wight, Cowes, Southampton to Cowes. And there is the Bolette disappearing behind Dockhead. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one, shipmates. I know it was a bit of a short notice. Just thought we'd just like to see the new camera in action. And I shall be repositioning it back in its conventional ferry cam location, so you can enjoy the comings and goings of the Red Funnel Ferry. I'd like to thank everyone for subscribing recently. We've had a lot of subscribers, a lot of new channel members, a lot of Patreons, PayPal donors, just general support of the channel. I think general feeling is that all the shipmates really like the ferry cam back. Hope you enjoyed that one, shipmates. Until next time.
CTS, Bolette, Western Chef out now.
Bolette VTS, that's all copied. Red Falcon, 40 deep inbound. Red Jet 7, just, correction, Red Jet 6, just departing cows inbound.
Roger that, thank you. Go ahead there, Simon. VTS, SB, that's us, just leaving the Empress for the Bolette.
SP VTS, all copy, thank you. I've seen VTS, all copied, thank you. Arcloartis VTS, over. Arcloartis VTS, that's all understood. There's no reported inbound traffic from the west, though.
VTS Red Falcon at Northwest Netley, request to maintain our speed, please.
Red Falcon VTS, yes, if it's safe to do so.
Thank you.
Bolette, from SP on 12 and 103.
Hello, Nick. Yeah, 103.
VTS Red Jet 6, Northwest Netley, in request permission to carry on with speed, please.
Red Jet 6 VTS, yes, if it's safe to do so.
Thank you, sir.
Tampa Triumph VTS, good evening. Tampa Triumph VTS, that's all copy, thank you. I've got no reported inbound traffic for you. Tampa Triumph VTS, she's not reported in, but we believe she's transiting from west to east. CMOC Gem from Stanley, VTS, that's all copy, thank you. The Bolette is just approaching the Hawk outward bound, and anything for the turn this evening? Constanza, VTS, all copy, thank you.
Red Jet 6.
Red Jet 6, BTS.
BTS, Red Jet 6. Good evening again. This vessel's now out of service on our new berth. It'll be back in second boat tomorrow morning, 6:05.
Red Jet 6, BTS, that's all. Copy, thank you. Good evening to you.
Thank you.
BTS, Bolette, that's at the buoy now. Take the main channel out to the east.
Bolette, BTS, that's all. Copy, thank you. The C-Mate again stands there just through the 40.
Thank you.
Tampa Triumph, BTS, good evening. Tampa Triumph, BTS, that's all received. Thank you. Have a good watch and a safe passage. We'll speak to you next time. Red Jet 7 VTS, good evening, that's all copied, thank you. The Bolette is currently at Calshot Light Float outward bound, and she's clear channel over.